Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I want to stray from my normal topics and material just for a little bit, just briefly, and talk about cars. Every once in a while, you can look through my videos. I got almost 900 videos at this point. I do talk about cars in several of them. Let's do a little bit of car talk. This time, I want to go through with some of you people out there who may not be really doing research properly or going through the used car process in a sophisticated way. You might just pick a car because you like the way it looks, or it drives a particular passion for you. But it's good to do a certain type of research. You have a cell phone in your hand, you have a computer, a tablet, you have access to Google. It's easy to just put in to the search function various questions. So I wanted to go over this with some of you guys about what's the proper way to research a used car and to settle on something, because it can be quite hard to figure out. These cars are not cheap. I'm looking to buy a car. I'm obsessed with cars. I talk about cars. If we hang out, guess we're going to talk about motorcycles or cars. That's going to be definitely on the topics. So let's just get into it. This is what I do. You may have a different process. Comment below and it may help out some people, because people are in the dark about this. I know they are, because I talk about cars to a lot of people. I talk about cars, and I noticed that a lot of people really don't do any research, and they don't really know how to be an expert in their decision. So here's how you become an expert. You can, this is in no particular order, but I always start off with checking the different scores and the different ratings. There's always reports on different vehicles. So say you can check a 2019 Kia Telluride. Those are popular. Everybody seems to have those these days. A lot of those on the road. You can look at the reliability score, and you can push into Google reliability score for whatever year, make, and model that you want. Genesis G70, whatever it is that you're looking for. BMW X3, whatever you want. And the reliability score may be something like 70 out of 100, which isn't that great in my opinion. It may be 90, 93 out of 100, which is a lot better. And it'll tell you what the different ratings mean. You can look at the safety rating. The safety rating may be a little bit more basic. It may be 4.2 out of 5 or 3.1 out of 5. And there are different ways that you can look into the safety ratings, and Consumer Reports, Kelley Blue Book, Edmunds, all those sites have this type of stuff, but it's up to you to kind of decide which ones you believe. I'm a little questionable about Consumer Reports in particular. I often wonder if they're paid by Toyota and some of these companies to give them good ratings, or Honda. There's a more difficult rating to find, and if you're good at doing research and you like research, you can find the build quality. And the build quality report gives a numerical rating, 4 out of 5, 3 out of 5, that kind of thing, maybe out of 10. I forget what it's out of, but nonetheless, it's good to find it if you can. I just found this on one of the cars I was researching, and that's the rating of the manufacturing, what kind of quality of manufacturing it is. You can look up also on Google. You can do all this on Google. You can look up the best year of that particular make and model. If you're looking at the Toyota Sequoias, I was looking at those. What's the best year? And you can go through that with a backwards way and look at the worst years. And it'll tell you, avoid 2004, 2007, 2014, whatever the years are. There'll be a list. Some cars have a lot of them. Some cars only have one. I looked at a vehicle the other day. I love doing research on cars, and it was rather expensive, out of my price range. But they only had 1 year to avoid, which is rare. Of course, when you're comparing vehicles, you should always have more than one option. If you just have your heart set on one kind of car, 1 year, make, and model, that's going to be hard to find, especially in this market where there's a shortage of vehicles. So you want to do comparisons, and you want to do the obvious stuff, gas mileage, the price point comparison. Is this one $34,000 and that one's $36,000, and do you need the extra stuff that it adds, why is it more, and make your decision properly. You might want to spend more just because it has better features, and That's something that people like. I'm not a big gadget person, but all these cars have gadgets and buttons, and if you want ventilated seats and heated seats, not all cars have that. You know, these third row SUVs, maybe you have a family and you want to put kids in the third row, you might want to make sure that it has ventilated seats, at least if you live in Florida or in the South somewhere. You know, these are little features that may be a deal breaker or a deal maker. Obviously, you want to do a test drive and a visual inspection. You want to kick the tires, you want to look around, you want to open the hood, you want to start it up, rev the engine, take it for a little drive, try to listen to stuff, turn the radio off, don't listen to no fucking radio while you're doing it, because you want to hear the engine. And you don't have to be an expert in engines to know if that don't sound right. Any idiot can be like, well, that don't sound right. But here's a good thing. You can learn about cars. You don't have to be an expert. I'm not saying go take mechanic class at the fucking trade school. You can learn very quickly about how engines work. You know, suck, bang, blow, basically. Spark and air and, you know, these types of things. You can learn some basics, and it may help you with your diagnostics when your car breaks down in the future, or, you know, if you have a car right now that needs repairs. But it could also just help you when you're walking around a car to give you a little bit of confidence when you pop the hood, and you'll know what to look for. You can identify things. There was a time in my life when I was younger, I couldn't point out a carburetor. You could say, show me the carb, and I would just be like, well, you know, I'd have no idea where to even look. I'd be behind the car looking underneath it. You know, I wouldn't know what to look for. Learn what a turbo is and where they're placed and various things like this. A good thing to do, and you'll hear this from anybody that wants to give you solid advice, is if there's any question about a particular car, you've seen a car, you like it, you've done some research, it's a lot of money, it is a good idea to have a relationship with a mechanic that you trust, and to see if you can bring them a car. A lot of mechanics will allow you to bring them a car just on the fly. You can just pull up and be like, yo, Tony, I got this, you know, Lexus out here. Can you take a look? They'll put the computer on it, run the history, look under the hood. Take them 5 fucking seconds. A good mechanic can go around a car real quick and be like, yep, or nope, right away. Brand loyalty, I'll end on this. I talk to people about cars. I like reviews. I like, if you own a Volvo, I was looking at Volvos at one point and was asking people about Volvos, and I know somebody who is a Volvo nut. Well, since he's a Volvo nut, he's telling me how great Volvos are all the time and swears by it. And we'll talk on and on and on with expertise about Volvos are the best goddamn cars, and he's very convincing, and he'll have you convinced. But if you go do some of this research, you will see some of these Volvos are crapola, man. So who do you believe? You're going to have to break through some of that brand loyalty of people. It's like talking to Harley Davidson guys. We've all broken down in our Harleys, but some Harley guys say it's the best ever. Brand loyalty will cloud the advice, and you'll just have to cut through it. I was talking about Cadillacs with somebody. Cadillacs don't get very good ratings when you look at some of the numbers. However, if you talk to people that own Cadillacs, they love them. They swear by them. The best car I'll ever own. I'll never buy another brand. So you just have to be knowledgeable on your own. Hope this was helpful for somebody. Go buy a car.